Everyone, mindfulness and meditation practices are great for everybody, not just for adults, that's for sure. Here to share her new book, Just Feel, is best-selling author Mallika Chopra. Welcome back, Mallika. Thank you for being here. I mean, the messages that you have in your books are so important for everybody. I say not just for adults like we always do it, but really, this is great for us too, adults, kids alike. Now, this is a follow-up to your best-selling book, Just Breathe.
Yes.
It's called Just Feel. Tell us the message in this one.
So this book is for 8 to 12-year-olds and the parents in their lives, the adults in their lives. It's about social and emotional intelligence, resilience, grit.
Wow.
So helping kids understand their emotions, understand how their mind works, but then making choices and taking action to be stronger, healthier, and happier.
And it's so important. I mean, at those ages that you just mentioned, things that are running through kids' heads at that time can be so overwhelming. So to have a handbook like this that the parents and the kids can actually go to and say, listen, very simple ways to help you understand and process those emotions. I think it's the process.
No doubt about it. And also just becoming aware of it, and you've got great tools in there to help us become aware of these things.
Right.
Yes.
One of the many of the exercises in the book, they all just take 1 to 2 minutes, actually. And one that I really liked was, how do I spend my time? What are the benefits of doing this exercise?
So part of this is kids knowing what they spend their time on and knowing how they feel when they spend their time on. So this is a very 1-minute, 2-minute exercise where they can use colored pencils and think about how much are they sleeping, how much time do they do homework, how much time are they doing extracurriculars. Our kids are overscheduled these days. Oof. And I think it's important for parents and kids to be conscious in making mindful decisions about how we're spending our time.
Yeah.
Right. You know, there's something to be said for being bored. When you grow up and you didn't have 7,000 events in your life every single week, you actually used your imagination.
You just figured it out, didn't you?
Creativity comes when we're bored.
Exactly.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Another one I really loved in there is because of the illustration you used was the one about sit and stand tall. The illustration you used was a girl rock climbing, and I appreciate that because Alexandra, she just turned 5.
She's basically a pro rock climber. I'm going to say it.
No, I wanted to say she's a little too young to understand meditation and mindfulness.
Sure.
But she is being mindful when she rock climbs because she has no choice but to focus on exactly what she's doing. And that's very important.
I mean, she's amazing. First of all, look at that.
She's better than me.
Incredible. She's very mindful of every move she's making.
Right.
Well, and a big point that I want to make is not all kids can sit still. And sometimes we need to connect with our bodies or move or breathe. My daughter does Taekwondo. Martial arts are great. So there are many different practices that kids can do.
To focus.
There sure are, because there is, I mean, we'll get to this a little bit later, but differences between mindfulness and meditation, how mindfulness can help in meditation and other places as well, for sure. Now, I've talked about this with you before, with the audience before, my family, we're big meditators. We've really kind of seen the benefits of meditation. My kids have been trying it and trying to incorporate it since they were really little. I mean, it's so good to see. And Layla even used to guide meditations at her school, which is pretty cool. There's Layla with her whole school guiding a little meditation, or as they call it there, they call it mindfulness practice, of course. And I understand that your family benefited massively when your father, the amazing Deepak Chopra, began to incorporate meditation in his life as well. Tell us about that.
So I was 9 years old when my father started meditating, and I think of life as like pre-9 and post-9. So pre-9, my dad was a pretty stressed out, miserable doctor who was working 24/7 and drinking and just trying to get through every day. And we remember very clearly when he started to meditate, my mom started, and me and my brother started, and it was this family journey that we took together. So that's why I'm writing these books for kids, because I was 9 when our family life changed because of it.
And I'm just going to jump in there real quick and say that it's such a great point to make, I think, for people at home, because we talk about the benefits of meditation for ourselves, of course, but it's unbelievable how that benefit for oneself has an impact on those around us. I mean, it allows us to make different decisions, to react to difficulties differently, and people see it, they feel it, and it's
a
like
ripple effect.
We've talked about
the butterfly effect.
So thank you for pointing that out.
The way you present yourself to the world, then they're going to present themselves differently to you, et cetera, et cetera.
And that's what we want.
And I love that he now meditates with your kids, with his great.
He taught each of my 2 kids and my brother's son, and they all have been meditating since they were 5. But it really is a family journey. It's great.
What is the difference exactly, just to clarify for people at home, between meditation and mindfulness? Because like Cameron had mentioned, it is different.
So meditation is when we quiet our mind. So you can do that through breathing or other techniques. And mindfulness is when we're aware of our body, of our thoughts, or what's happening in the environment. So that's the difference.
But mindfulness also is sort of an aspect of the mind that we can use in meditation to be mindful of where our mind is going and to keep bringing ourselves back to our meditation object.
Absolutely. And a great thing to do with kids is go spend time in nature, but not without all the devices. Go and just be present in nature. Eat a meal and be cognizant of like the tastes and just the textures of the food and enjoy it. Be mindful.
All of that. It's a great step of it for sure.
Yeah,
Now let's say we're living our life and we're feeling maybe a little angry or maybe a little anxious or whatever it is. Some feelings are coming up. You've got a great way to kind of, well, to help with that. And it's called 4 Breaths with My Fingers. It's a meditation practice. Take us through it.
So when we get anxious, often we just need to pause. And a great way to do that, especially with kids, is to use our bodies and our breaths. So this is take your fingers out. With your thumb, hit your pinky. Take a breath in. Out. With the next one. In. And out. Takes 5 to 10 seconds, but it just helps kids also use the breath and their body in something active to kind of.
And it occupies your mind. It gets your mind off of whatever it is that you're dwelling on and maybe like, starting to spiral with, and you bring your mind, you've got to kind of align your breath and your fingers. I find it really effective. Thank you for sharing that.
And it physically oxygenates your blood.
Yeah.
So you can legitimately, physically, in that 5-second, 10-second time, really feel a difference.
We breathe so shallow so much of the time, so it's a good point. I mean, it gets our breath right in the. We always love when you come in here. We're going to end this and do a little meditation. How about that, everybody? Just Feel is available wherever books are sold, and you can get more information at Hallmark.